What's going on, guys? Ironcane here, back with another World of Breakers video. And in today's video, we're doing a survivor tutorial, just like a whole overview of how to play Survivor in Dragon Ball: The Breakers. For just for educational purposes, I am on my Steam account that is completely free to play. I've not dumped a single cent into Dragon Ball: The Breakers on Steam besides actually buying the game. And I have the build that they basically just give you when you install the game. I did not change anything. I mean, Piccolo might be level 1 and Krillin might be level 2, but it's essentially the same thing they give you. And I have Grapple, Floating Device, and Smoke Screen, which is what they give you when you boot up the game. So I'm going to go ahead and start up this practice, and we'll start talking about everything in the game. By the way, if you want to do practice, you're curious where it is, all you have to do is hit the play button, go to practice, and that's how you get to the screen that I was just at, in case you're curious. And if you want to play a Survivor, you have the Survivor, desired role selected. And then if you want to change, you hit L1 to switch the Raider. And that's how you can switch between the two, and if you want to experiment with one or the other. For the sake of this, I'll have the Raider bot off. I can have it on later. We'll talk about some advanced things later. But let's. I'm just going to do like an overview of all the items and just how Dragon changes work and everything. So, a little overwhelming, but we'll break it all down. Alrighty, so we're queued into practice, and what's nice about practice is they actually spawn every pickable item that you can pick up in the game. Here are all the radars that are in the game. Here is a capsule case, a pod that can actually spawn out of the crates, believe it or not. Here we have sodas, and here are cubes. Here's a berry recovery device, a Senzu Bean, a scouter, Vegeta gloves, rocket launchers, and here are vending machines along with gold. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is change power. So change power is actually what gives you your transformation, right? And I think what people struggle with the most when they're just starting is actually getting their level 1. So these cubes are not going to be out nice on these little tables like these when you're actually playing a game. The way you're probably going to be finding these cubes is through crates. So let's hopefully find a cube here, for example. So there's destructible items in Dragon Ball: The Breakers, right? And the way you destroy these is with your gun. And you'll see items pop out of here. Like here we got Zeni, and here we got a small change cube. So typically, I believe it takes around 5 small cubes to actually get your level 1, and sometimes big cubes can even spawn out as well, giving you the opportunity to get your Dragon change pretty fast. Now Zeni is very important to pick up as well, and we'll talk about that later, but Zeni is also shared between your teammates. So here we got about 4 cubes, so yeah, we just need 1 more for, just to kind of speed things up. I'll get the last cube here. But actually, let me show you guys an example. Some people might not know, but not every item actually needs to be shot at. Like these pots right here, you can just walk into and it'll destroy on their own. And that Zeni that we just acquired, which I believe is about 50, that actually goes to the entire team. People in the comments below can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure the gold bars are just for you. But when you destroy Zeni out of destructible items, that actually goes to the entire team. So you're giving Zeni to your teammates by doing that. Also, if you destroy furniture like this, tables and chairs, these will not drop items unless you equip a special skill called Craving Earth's Delights that will spawn food items. I have a showcase on that if you guys want to check out what that skill does. But, of course, this is a very basic showcase. We'll talk about that at another time. So here is a cooldown drink, which is very, very important. And actually, we got our last cube. So now that we have our level 1, we can actually activate our Dragon change. So Dragon change is essentially your way of fighting back against the Raider and escaping. At level 1, I want you guys to notice right now, at level 1, you are not fighting the Raider. You are pretty much never going to be fighting the Raider with your level 1 unless you see other teammates doing it, or you know for a fact that other teammates will join you. You should not be initiating fights with your level 1 unless you're very, very confident that you can get in and out. Your level 1 is primarily used just for escapes. So this soda here that I have in my hand is actually very, very important. 2 ways you can acquire sodas is by crates, which I just showed you, and by destroying objects. Sometimes they can spawn out. So there's 2 types of sodas, a cooldown drink and a super cooldown drink. So after I activate my Dragon change, you'll see that the bar in the bottom left corner is actually decreasing gradually while I'm in my Dragon change. And if I shoot Ki Blasts, it'll go down even faster. And if I do super attacks, it'll go down even faster. By flying around, moving around, it does not decrease it any faster. It's just by attacking, right? So now my Dragon change actually was depleted. I have cooldowns off. That's why I got my Dragon change right back. So let me actually quit and come back just to show you guys how Dragon Change work in a normal game. So here we are back in practice, and now we have cooldowns on. So just to clarify how many cubes you need, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. I knew it was 5, dude. I have 1,000 hours on this game. Of course I knew. So again, let's grab our soda here, and let's transform. So we transform here, and as you see, my Dragon Change is gradually going down. So you can actually cancel your Dragon Change, by the way. To do it on PlayStation or on controller is holding in the right stick. And doing this will actually give you back some of your Dragon Change cooldown back. The only way to get some Dragon Change cooldown back otherwise is by drinking sodas. And that's what makes these sodas so important. So we're going to go ahead and drink this soda, and this will give us our Dragon Change back. So this time, I'm just going to completely deplete my change. And by doing that, I'm just going to spam Ki Blast. Let me just do super attacks. So I'm going to completely deplete my change here by using these 2 super attacks. Also, notice how fast my Dragon Change went away just by doing 2 super attacks. This is why I say it's never really wise to fight with your level 1 Dragon Change, because that's not really what it's made for. So sodas work very interestingly. So they actually recover a set amount of Dragon Change depending on your level. So you can do this strategically, right? So first, let's show you guys how much you get back at level 1. I believe you get it back like 80%. So as you can see, I'm going to get my Dragon Change back in a couple seconds here. I believe the number of like Dragon Change recovered, like it's like every second you recover a percentage of your Dragon Change, in case you're curious about that. So if you guys want to be strategic about it, you can collect cubes. Also, these medium cubes are not available for pickup. They just have them so you can see what they look like. You would get the medium power cubes here. This is how much they give. You'll see these machines around on the map, and you'll need Zeni to actually purchase from them. And this is also typically where you'll be getting sodas as well, because sodas are pretty rare. You'll sometimes find them in crates, but primarily you'll be getting them from these vending machines. Well, just for educational purposes, to show you guys how much you get from medium, there it is. And now if we grab our level 2 here, I'm going to show you guys how much you recover. So actually, again, let me show you guys how much we recover drinking a soda as a level 1. And again, this is how much limit gauge you lose by doing 2 super attacks as a level 1. You might be able to squeeze in 3 with this super attack, but that's why I really don't recommend fighting. So here we drink a soda, and you get 80% back by drinking a soda at level 1, which is pretty crazy. Let's just drink another. And let me show you how much you guys get back as a level 1 with a super soda. Super sodas are kind of crazy. I think they actually nerfed how much they gave back. You pretty much drink 1 and you get a majority of your change back. And I honestly don't really recommend drinking them at level 1, just because you get so much back with a regular soda anyway. You should save it for your level 2 and 3 and up, and I'll explain why. So at level 3, you get 90% back, which is 10% more than you would with a regular soda. So it's really not worth drinking as a level 1, and I'll show why in a second. So here, I'm going to go ahead and grab my level 2. So you'll notice this time, I'm going to waste my change. I have a bigger limit gauge bar, right? So now I can use more supers. This super does cost less, but look how many supers I can use in comparison as opposed to my level 1. So level 2 and up is typically where you want to be fighting as a survivor. Let's just show these sodas again. So now I only got 40, like 48% or something like that with 1 soda. So let's drink another. And that still didn't give me my Dragon Change back. So as you see, last time it took about 1 soda to get our Dragon Change back, where here it took about 2. So that's why I recommend using super sodas at level 2. Let me show you guys why in a sec. Let me just waste these supers so I can get my limit gauge depleted. All right, now that's pretty much done. And we drink this super soda. You get around 75% back. So you definitely want to be saving those super sodas for level 2 and up. Also, let's show how much it takes to get level 3. So doing small cubes, it takes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it takes 13 cubes to get your level 3. It takes a lot of small cubes. That's why it's really important that you purchase Dragon Change power from these machines and find any big cubes that you can, right? So let me show you guys how much Dragon Change you get back at level 3. This is the Dragon Change that you're going to be fighting with the most. You typically will have the best Ki Blast at level 3. I didn't really show you guys the Ki Blast at level 1 and 2 with those other survivors, but you saw they were just like little thin, slow blasts. But this actually is good for dealing damage and sniping raiders. And of course, you'll be able to use a lot more super attacks. Keep in mind, you can do melee attacks with all levels of the survivor. They are increased at each level, which I'll show you guys later as well. So here, if we drink a soda, we get 40% back, only 40%. And we drink another one, we'll probably have 80 something. So yeah, that's why it's really, really important that you guys save your super sodas if you find any for your later Dragon Change levels. But let me actually show you guys some cool tech that you can do with the sodas. So you guys how important like large cubes are. I just picked up one and got that much to my level 1. Now I just need one small cube and I got my level 1. So what you can do with sodas, right? So here I'm going to take a large cube. Going to take another large cube. And now I just need one more cube here. So if you know you're about to, lose your level 1, what you can do smart with these sodas is, also canceling your change is important. But for this, let me just show the sodas. I forgot. Yeah, this is the level 1 Ki Blast with Krillin. It's not good. It's really not good at all. Let me just waste the super attack just so we can lose our Dragon Change here. So I wasted my Dragon Change. So what I can do to be smart to get my Dragon Change back faster if I know I'm going to level up is drink the soda as a level 1. Doing this will give me a lot of my Dragon Change back, and now I can pick up my cube, and now I'll get my level 2 faster if I drink that soda as a level 1 as opposed to level 2. Because we saw by getting it as a level 2, we got about like 50% back around that range. If you drink it as a level 3, you only get 40, right? So keep in mind, you should be drinking sodas as lower levels. I mean, drink them whenever you need, of course, like depending on the situation. But if you really want to be smart and, conservative with them, definitely use them at lower Dragon Change levels. Also, just want to show the level 2 Ki Blast with Piccolo. Typically, level 2 Ki Blasts aren't that great either. Some have really good Ki Blasts at level 2, but most don't really have that great Ki Blast. But now I want to show you guys like movement tech with the Transpheres, because I see a lot of people asking me how I actually jump and move around fast with the Transphere, right? So typically when you transform, you'll probably just be flying around like this to escape the Raider. This isn't really a good way to escape the Raider. The way I do it is this combo that we call floating device tech. So you'll see at the bottom D-pad, I have the floating device equipped, right? The floating device, in my opinion, is probably one of the most versatile skills in the entire game, and it has a very short cooldown of 30 seconds. So this can be used as a survivor, but it can also be used while you're transformed. As you can see, it gives you a great height, and you can actually bounce on it multiple times. It'll even give you increased height, depending on how many times you jump on it. So just a little cool thing about that. So let's go ahead and recover our Dragon Change here by drinking this soda. Probably have to drink one more. But yeah, as you can see, a crazy difference as opposed to drinking as level 1. So what you guys really want to practice and nail is if a Raider finds you or if a Raider is approaching, you want to be doing this combo to escape the Raider, right? So you want to throw down the floating device, and what you want to do is jump. So when you're actually low to the ground, you can jump as a Transphere. Otherwise, if you hit the X button, it actually won't do anything. It'll just make you go upwards. But if you double tap the X button, you can fly fast to the ground. And once you're on the ground like this, you can jump around. You don't actually have to double tap X to get to the ground to jump from the ground. You can just manually fly to the ground like this. And once you're low like this, you can jump around, and it's actually faster than flying. Believe it or not, jumping around like this is actually faster than flying. So if you are low to the ground, you can like loop around the Raider. For example, actually, let me get a soda here. Let me grab 2 sodas here. And this will also keep in mind, a super soda and a regular soda will always give you back the entirety of your Dragon Change. That's a combo that you guys can do. But say like I'm being chased around this corner here, right? And I want to lose Cell. I would jump around this cave, keep jumping around because it's faster than flying. And I would go in here, and if I'm far enough away, he might not follow me into this cave, right? But look how much faster jumping around is than flying. So like say Cell is chasing me. Oh my god, Cell's chasing me. Look how slow this is in comparison to me jumping around, right? Now, the jump speed is actually the same at every Dragon Change level, but your flight speed, I believe, is increased at every Dragon Change level as well. So when you can, you do want to keep low to the ground because you're going to be more difficult to see depending on the terrain of the map. So like an area like this, like an area B, if you want to lose a raider, for example, like say, let's find Cell actually. Let me actually find Cell and show you guys how to escape. Alrighty, so in here, Cell is on me like hot salami, or he's close to me. So now he found me, right? So if I want to lose him, this is a CPU, keep in mind, so it's going to be a little easier than like an actual person. I would jump around like this, keep jumping around, staying low, and I want to turn this corner here so that way he loses sight of me. When he loses sight of me, he loses lock on, and he loses his movement speed. So by doing this, Cell kind of has to guess, did I go that way or did I go this way, right? And that way you kind of keep him guessing, and you get away from him, and you can even like hide in this cave, deactivate your Dragon Change when you know you escape, because you'll be less noticeable that way, and you'll get your Dragon Change back faster by doing that, right? So just you know, a way to like escape the raider and move around kind of fast. So if you know you escaped the raider, or if you're confident that you did, try to cancel your Dragon Change. That way you'll be getting it back a lot faster. Because while you're transformed, you're going to be a lot more noticeable than while you're not transformed. Because while you're transformed, you're going to be glowing like this. You have this blue aura around you, so you're a lot more noticeable than when you're just like a normal survivor, right? So keep that in mind. All right, so let's get our Dragon Change back here. So let me show you guys the tech that you pretty much need to know as a survivor player. And this is involving the floating device. Now that we know how to jump around as a survivor, let me show you guys how to jump with the floating device. This is called the floating device tech. So if you do it wrong, this is what it's going to look like. It's not that fast. It's actually quite slow, and it's because you're in the flying animation. We don't want to be in the flying animation. We want to be in this fast fall animation that you get when you jump around. So the way to do that is to jump into the floating device. And we do that by jumping and holding forward on the stick. As you can see, we're going super, super far, and we're moving very, very fast. And this will throw raiders off. They can still follow you. They can definitely still follow you, but they're going to have a harder time keeping up with you when you actually do that. So let me just do that again and show you guys again. That's how I'm doing that. And I'm pretty much able to go all the way back to where we were by doing that, which is kind of crazy. So let me go ahead and grab these sodas to get my Dragon Change back. And I'll just show you guys how you can use Grapple and Floating Device to get away from the raider as fast as possible. So let me actually go ahead and attract Cell's attention here. Alrighty, I found Cell. Let's see if we can actually get his attention here. This is the bot, so keep that in mind. Alright, so here, Cell's found me, right? And he's going to be attacking me. At least he should be. Okay, so I'm going to transform. I'm going to start jumping away to escape. I'm going to get some distance. And then once I get, you know, a confident amount of distance, I'll pop the Floating Device, jump, and I'll get out of there. And if I'm still not confident that I'll be able to escape, I can do the floating device, or the grappling device, use this, and then get away as well. So with that, if you do that all together, you should be, if not escaping raiders, wasting their time. And I think that's a big thing that people kind of really don't understand, that like, and if you aren't escaping raiders, as long as you're like wasting their time and making them chase you for a long time, you're providing your fellow survivors time to find keys, Dragon Balls, save civilians, and actually like help out with the team, right? So I just want to show you guys an example of that. But we'll be right back. I'm going to turn off the cooldowns just so I can show you guys a little faster. So again, if you guys want to see the combo and how I do it, typically the way I do it is that when I transform, I just throw the floating device in front of me. And you want to jump, right? As soon as you jump and you hit the jump button, you want to hit forward. If you hit forward, then the jump button... Oh, I'm just that good. Sorry, give me one sec. Give me one sec. If you hit the jump button and then go forward, actually, maybe it is better to hit forward than the jump button. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Whatever works for you guys, honestly. The way I've taught people is to hit the jump button, then hit forward, as opposed to hitting forward, then the jump button. But if it works for you either way, whatever works, like, it doesn't really matter. But as long as you don't get this, you know you did it right. You know you did it right. Also, the smoke bomb, believe it or not, although it is a starter skill, it actually is a very good skill. Because what it does is that it removes the raider's lock-on you. So let me go ahead and get to Cell here and show how it helps out. I have unlimited cooldowns on here, so I don't have cooldowns anymore. So by popping the smoke bomb here, Cell isn't able to lock onto me. So now I'm able to use Flowing Device and grapple away. And this is how you could escape, potentially, by not having a Dragon Change. But you primarily want to be using a Dragon Change. See how that wasn't even enough to, like, lose the bot? So you want to be taking advantage of this Dragon Change jump as much as you can. So one way you could do this is that you could transform, jump around, and then maybe toss the Smoke Device while midair. Pop this, use the Flowing Device, and then if you want to get even further away, you can use the Grapple as well. If you guys want to actually use Grapple and other advanced ways, if you grapple and hit the X button, you actually cancel the grapple. And you see, we're actually in that falling animation that we like that gives us better movement speed. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel my chains. So you can use this to your advantage when grappling to a high place while transformed. I think one of the best examples of this is grappling to this mountain, like over here. So say like the raider has found me and I'm like in D, right? So what I would personally do is I would fly upwards, grapple, and I would grapple to one of these mountains, cancel my grapple at the end of it, and that way I fast fall here and then I can continue jumping. And if I have Flowing Device active, I can do this and then I'm on my merry way, right? That's personally what I would do. But yeah, that's just a good way to use grapple and Flowing Device. And again, if you want to cancel it, you just hit the X button at the end of the grapple, and that's how you'll be able to do that. Now I'm going to be talking about some of the items that are in Dragon Ball The Breakers. So here we talked about sodas, we talked about the different cubes, but we have not talked about the barrier recovery device. So the barrier recovery device is essentially the way you heal yourself in Dragon Ball The Breakers. Let me go ahead and find Cell to be my helper for this. So I'm going to have Cell hit me. If I take another thing of damage, you guys probably know, I will be killed here. Alright, Cell stun me. Want Cell to hit me. Cell hit me, dude. Hit me. Alright, and now I'm dead, right? If you're in a game with another player, of course, you'll be downed and you can be rezzed. But if you do get hit by it like that, all you have to do is pop this barrier device. So Cell hit me. I'm going to want to transform. If you do get hit like that, you want to transform immediately afterwards. And then, like in this situation, I would grapple. Then I would do, oops, I actually messed it up. With my 1,000 hours, I actually messed it up. I would grapple, then I would do the Floating Device jump. And I would maybe go in the water over here, because you actually can jump higher in here. And at this point, I would probably die. If this is a real game, I would probably die because I messed up that jump. But I did want to show you guys some cool tech that you can actually do with the Floating Device when it transforms in general. So if you're in the water, for some reason, I don't know if it's science or what, if you use the Floating Device and do the tech, you jump way higher than you normally would. So you can use that to your advantage as well. But what I wanted to show you guys before I messed up the old tech that I was doing is what this barrier recovery device does. So the way to heal yourself is to... Damn, Cell is on my booty. So the way to heal yourself is to use this barrier recovery device. And this will actually heal you. That way you're able to take an additional hit before you get down. Now I'm completely fully healed, right? So Cell is still on me. Let me actually get back to X so we can get our items back and whatnot. But if you're just moving around, you can also, you can roll into the Flowing Device. Sometimes I do this because it's faster than just like, you know, running or jumping into it. And it gives you like a different kind of like height than just doing it like this. But jumping into the Flowing Device as a normal survivor does not give you increased height. I used to think it does. I think if you actually jump onto it, it does. And as you can see that, it absolutely does. But if you jump into it like you do as a Transphere, it doesn't give you additional height. It's just going to give you the normal height. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's a little weird like that. I'm curious if it's like a momentum-based thing. But if you actually jump on it, you should be getting increased height. And as you can see, we definitely are there. So let me talk about the other items that are in X here. Here we have a Senzu Bean. So this you can actually use to res yourself, and you can use this to res other allies. I can't show you guys here because I think Cell will actually just kill me. Let me see. I actually haven't tried this out myself. I think Cell was somewhere over here. Okay, so I just got down by Cell, and I can actually use this Senzu to revive myself. Typically, what I see a lot of players do is that they revive themselves right in front of the Raider. If you do this, the Raider will just shoot you and then absorb you. And when you get killed after you res yourself or you are res, you are eliminated from the game. So never res yourself in front of the Raider, and never res another player in front of the Raider, because if you do and they get knocked out again and then they get executed, they're completely knocked out of the game. So now that cell has left me, typically raiders won't do this, but say if the raider leaves you or if they're at a safe distance, that's when you want to res yourself and that's when you want to escape, right? So keep that in mind. Never res yourself or other allies right in front of the raider unless you're confident you can help them escape or you have a Senzu Bean and like people are distracting the raider, right? So last but not least, we have Scouter, Gloves, and the 2 rockets here. So Scouter allows you to find civilians and see where the raider is. So I really don't like this item. I think it's probably one of the worst items. And you could actually use it in the air like this with flowing device, which is kind of neat actually, and it helps you move around faster while using the Scouter. So here I actually found out that a civilian is here, but this is primarily what you would be using the Scouter for, pretty much just to find civilians. So let's go ahead and enter this cave and save the civilian. So civilians are actually really important. You should be saving civilians as much as you can. I believe you actually get Zeni from saving them along with 3 cubes. So let me see if you do. You don't get Zeni. I lied to you. I absolutely gaslit you all. Haha. All right, so you get 3 cubes, which is pretty nice. And it also cuts off the free evolution charge that raiders get by finding civilians. So keep that in mind as well. All right, since Cell is nearby, I can show you guys what gloves do. Gloves aren't really a crazy good item either, but I'll show you guys what they do. They basically deal a little damage to the raider. Very, very little damage to the raider, and you'll see it doesn't actually deplete the raider's gauge. Next here we have rockets. A singular rocket won't deplete the raider's gauge. I'll show that here. I think it gets the raider's gauge to about half. So yeah, it gets the raider's gauge to about half. And it deals like very, very little amounts of damage, like very little. It actually does deal damage, but it's like no damage at all. So primarily the way to deplete a raider's gauge is by using these gold rockets. And the reason why you want to deplete a raider's gauge is because it stops them performing any action they're doing or drops any Dragon Balls that they have in their possession, right? So with these 2 rockets, if I can land them, boom, boom, Cell got knocked back. And if he had any Dragon Balls that he was holding, he would drop them. If he was executing somebody, he would stop executing them. This is what rockets are used for. But not really that great against Broly. But against every other Raider game, they're very useful. So last but not least, still going to bother me here? Okay, he's going to leave me alone. So I'm going to go ahead and collect Zeni here. I think I briefly showed you guys like what these machines do. But this gives you change power. This is worth 2,000. Pretty helpful if you're stuck at your level 1. I think it gives you about half of your level 1. So like you need 5 small cubes to get your level 1. I think you just need 2 charges from here to get your level 1. I'm actually going to fact check that. Let's quit and come back just to fact check that. Alrighty, so we're back, and I just want to see how much it takes with... Actually, I could just get the medium cubes here. This is the same. These medium change powers is the same as this one. Okay, so I lied to you. It actually isn't 2. It's about 3. So say if you collect... you would just need 1 cube, and you would just need to buy from these machines twice. Also, let me actually show you guys in the wild how much you can get from these machines. So from the change power machines, you can only use them twice. With the soda machines, you can only use them once. And the rocket machines, you can use quite a lot. It's about like 7 times, I believe. So I'm just collecting a good bit of Zeni here. At 8,000 Zeni. So different parts of the map have machines, but on the Highland River map, there's machines in D, there's machines in C, and then there's machines in B. So B typically will have a couple machines here. There's 2 soda machines and then just 1, two soda machines and 2 change power machines. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what happens if I purchase from this twice. After I purchase from this twice, this goes away. And if I buy a soda, that one goes away. So you want to be buying sodas as much as you can. Oops, Cell found me here. We know what to do. Pop our change, pop our flowing device. And what I would do, probably jump around the map like this. Cell's still kind of on us. Here I might be kind of screwed, but I would just like fly up like this to like further lose him. Use the grapple. Do it like this. And then here I might be dead. I might actually be dead from that situation. But just a way to get away, right? Just a way to escape. But keep in mind, this is without using Smoke Bomb. If I use Smoke Bomb, he loses Lock On. And it's going to be more difficult for him to follow me. Because if he has Lock On, it's going to increase his speed. And it's going to like make him more aware of where I am. So I would just go in here and like cancel my tunes, right? So here he might follow me, and here, I don't know. It's the CPU. It's not a real person, but let's get back to what we were doing. Use this grapple. Cancel it again. You can practice a lot in practice just because it's everything's off on cooldowns. So that's Zeni. So now let's talk about radars. So radars are actually pretty cool in the way they work. So there's 3 types of radars. There's a Civi, a Key, and a Dragon radar. So Dragon radars actually are not available when Broly's the raider, just because there's no Dragon Balls available when Broly's the raider. But what's interesting about them is, say I find a level 1 radar like this, right? So this is going to show me where the Dragon Balls are at. Let me see if I can find a Dragon Ball nearby. Anything nearby? Something over here. There's a Dragon Ball over here. Okay, so it looks like there is a Dragon Ball. Just trying to see where it is. It's probably in one of the caves. Yeah, we're on the right level. Might be around here. Yeah, I believe it is going to be in this cave, yeah. So the Dragon Ball is in this cave. And we're not going to be able to see it from X. But if we grab this gold radar, this will actually increase the range. And now we'll see that the Dragon Ball is over there. So keep in mind, if you get a level 1 key radar, because I have a gold radar already, this will actually make the max range for keys as well. So now I would see the keys further. I don't even need a level 3 key radar. As you can see, I can't even pick a level 3 key radar. And it's the same thing for civs. So as long as you get 1 level 3 radar, and if you get a level 1 of anything else, you'll get the maximum range. And I'll show that again. I'll quit and come back and just show you guys another example. Alrighty, we're back. So I'm going to grab a level 1 power key radar. Power key radars are like probably the most important key or just radar in the game, because you need 5 power keys. By setting all the keys, the super time machine spawns, and once that spawns, you're pretty much on your way to winning the game, right? So let's go ahead and find where a power key is. Okay, so it looks like there is a key in the building. Cell. Bro, I should be turning bot off. Cell's being mad annoying. Alright. But, yeah, he lost locking on me. That's why he wasn't aiming at. Alright, thanks, Cell. Alright, so we know where the key is, dude. Thanks, Cell. But now, if we grab a level 3 Dragon radar, again, we didn't grab a level 3 power key radar. We're grabbing a level 3 Dragon radar. We'll be able to see that the key is actually in C from further away. So you saw how close we had to go before. Now we can see it all the way from here. So as long as you get 1 level 3 radar, it actually increases the range of all the radars that you pick up. So say if I grab a level 1 civilian radar, again, I will still be able to see the maximum range for civilians. You can also kind of zoom in on the radar and zoom out if you want by hitting the L1 button. I kind of just keep it at normal. I never really felt the need to like zoom in and out, but you know, if you want to do that, you can do that as well. Here's a capsule case. Capsule cases will spawn random items. That's pretty much what they do. Here I got a vehicle. Here I got another vehicle. Do these just spawn vehicles? I guess these just spawn vehicles. Capsule cases spawn random items. I guess just for the sake of the tutorial, they just spawn vehicles. Look at all my dinos, dude. Even Saiyan Pods can actually spawn out of capsule cases, but if you guys are curious how the Saiyan Pod works, if you're a new player and you start the tutorial, I believe they give you the Saiyan Pod for free. But basically, you're able to see the entire map. I would look where the raider is when using Saiyan Pod and literally just be like, all right, he's over there. Let me just spawn on the complete opposite side of the map and do my thing over here. And if I have a key radar, it would be my job to find the keys, right? So if you ever get a key radar, make sure you're actually finding keys. Also, let me just show you guys this again, because I didn't say it before. But this is floating device height normal. Still pretty high, but let's go into the water and you guys can see how much higher it is in the water. It's pretty crazy. Now keep in mind we're a little higher because we're a little more elevated on this side. But you do fly higher with the floating device when actually in the water for some reason. It's kind of interesting like that. So that is pretty much everything in terms of like items and whatnot. Let me get a power key and show you guys how the keys work, right? So say we're in a real game. Cell's right there. You can grab this power key. And this is the key for E. Once a key is highlighted in gray like it is there, you'll be able to see the key and where it needs to be planted on the map. So this little orange, or not little at all, this orange light is actually where you need to plant the key. If you ever want to look at the map, it's the options button, and you can see each of the 5 areas on the map. So here we go. Let's go to area E, and this is where we can plant a key, right? So if you plant a key, it actually takes pretty long, but if you plant another survivor, it'll actually take a little bit faster. Well, it's nice now. They actually did a patch where now keys progress actually is saved. So if you're interrupted at any point, you can leave, come back, and then start where you left off. So I'm going to plant all these keys and show you guys how you can play around the Super Time Machine and whatnot. Alrighty, so I'm actually on my PlayStation account now. Now, before we do the key stuff, I just want to show you guys why I say not to fight as a level 1. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how much damage you're actually going to be doing as a level 1. So this is how long a melee combo is as a level 1. And keep in mind, some of it is going to be taking slightly increased damage, I believe. I'm not entirely sure about that. I kind of forget. But yeah, so that's how short a melee combo is at level 1. And here is a melee combo at a level 2. It's a little bit longer. It is a little bit longer, which is why, you know, fighting at level 2 is a little more acceptable. As you can see, it holds the Raider in place for longer, and it deals more damage as well, allowing for you to deal more damage and for your allies to deal more damage as well. So let me just grab my level 3, and this is going to be the longest melee combo that you can do. So we're going to go ahead and do a melee combo here. And you can see that this one is pretty dang long, and it deals a lot of damage as well. So I just wanted to show you guys that before we move on to the keys. So now I'm going to go ahead and collect a bunch of keys. So one thing you guys should know about keys is how it impacts the Super Time Machine, right? So when you actually are able to successfully plant all 5 keys, the Super Time Machine will actually spawn and will have a startup rate of 20%, which is the fastest startup rate that it could possibly have, right? If an area is destroyed and a key is not placed before the area is destroyed, then the Super Time Machine startup rate will actually be decreased by 5%. What I think a lot of people don't know is that if you're about to plant a key like this, I'm going to give the Raider the signal to destroy the area. So if you can actually plant keys while the area is being destroyed. And if I do this, you'll see what happens when the area is actually destroyed. It will be marked out in red. So when it gets marked out in red, that means that the key was successfully planted, and you get to keep the Super Time Machine startup speed. So this is a good way to actually keep the startup speed while, you know, being able to plant the key as well. Now, of course, if I just start the key right now and the Raider destroys the area, it's not really wise to stay on it unless you have like 3 people playing the key with you. You guys can try and do it. But don't kill yourself to plant the key unless it's like the last final remaining key and you really want to get that 20%. Then it might be worth. But if you got it like 3/4 of the way and it's a normal Raider, definitely try to plant the key. But if it's someone like Broly at level 4, he destroys areas in like 7 seconds, something crazy like that. I have Time Patroller's Duty here, that's why I'm playing this key so fast. As you can see, the Super Time Machine startup rate is at 20%, even though the Raider destroyed an area. So if a Raider destroys an area where a key's been planted, or if you plant a key before the area is destroyed, you will get 20% guaranteed for super startup rate on the Super Time Machine. Now I'm going to show you guys some tech you can use at the Super Time Machine. Alrighty, so if you guys don't know, you can actually use the Super Time Machine as a sort of shield. So if the Raider is at the other end of the Super Time Machine, they actually can't hit you, right? Even if they're locked on. So if you're working on the Super Time Machine like this, the Raider will not be able to shoot you. So let me show you guys that. Alright, so now I'm going to give the Raider the signal. If I'm working on the Super Time Machine, it can actually be used as a shield. So if the Raider is like trying to shoot you, you can use the Super Time Machine to block the Key Blast. The only way the Raider will be able to hit you is if they're flying upwards and they actually shoot you from above. But you can use the Super Time Machine as a shield and kind of like maneuver around it and hit the triangle button to work on it when you can. So here we have the Raider on the Super Time Machine. You can get him off actually by just straight up transforming next to the Raider. And of course, if you're the same power level as the Raider, you will be able to knock them off as well. So here, the best tech to get the Raider off is actually doing a Vanish Kick. And the way to do this is to dodge into the Raider. So if you hit the circle button regularly, you'll do this. But if you hit forward and circle, you'll knock the Raider off with a Vanish Kick. And as you saw, I was able to do this from the opposite side. So if the Raider is on the other end of the Super Time Machine like this, I hit forward and circle, and I can kick them off. And it's a really fast and convenient way to get the Raider off the Super Time Machine. If you do it from above them, so if you do it like this, you actually smack them in the air as well. But it's a really good way to get them off of the Super Time Machine. Other ways, of course, is just engaging in a melee combo just like this. Doing super attacks is actually not a good way to get him off the Super Time Machine, because as you can see, it didn't deplete his gauge, and that would not knock him off the Super Time Machine. Other ways to get him off the Super Time Machine is to use these rockets, and if I do this, that would also knock him off of the Super Time Machine as well. So just want to show you guys kind of how to play around the Super Time Machine as well. So the way to win in Dragon Ball The Breakers and correct the timeline is to let the Super Time Machine actually start up. You guys have probably seen this many times, so I don't really have to show you an example of that. But what some of you guys don't know is that you can actually still win if you just kill the Raider, right? So, of course, at this point, it's kind of risky to do that because Boo is at half health. But if you actually are able to kill him, you do win the game here. So we're just going to beat up Boo. I'm just going to show you guys what that looks like. I'm just going to show you guys really quick. If the Raider is super low, you might as well go ahead and try this. Escaping via the escape time machine isn't considered a win by the game. It's just surviving. So you do get some medals, but you will not get as many medals if you actually defeat the Raider. So the Raiders destroy the Super Time Machine, and now that I killed them, we actually did win the game, right? So that's a way to win the game, even if the Super Time Machine is destroyed. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much everything I want to talk about here. I have other tutorials on the channel. I have a complete and definitive combat guide. I have a guide talking about all about the gauge. I have a guide talking about all the skills. I might just run into the shop to show you guys some stuff you can pick up for free, actually, before I head out. The last thing I wanted to show you guys is the shop here. So this isn't just the purely buy cosmetic related things, Survivor Skins and Raiders. There's actually items that you can buy in here as well. So you could buy the enemy radar, which is garbage, the zipline device, which is okay, the trap device, which is also pretty okay, the hovering device, power charger, and the emergency escape device. So I'll show you guys what all these items do in a moment here. Let me pause. So the zipline device is basically a slightly worse version of the grappling device. It moves a lot faster than this. They buffed it and actually has a further range. The only really bad part of it is that it can not be used in the air, which does kind of stink. But other survivors can actually use this to get around with. Here we have emergency transformation device. I think this is the one they automatically equip on your person. I really wouldn't recommend you guys having this. I mean, if you're a newer player, it does help. But if you ever take damage, you just have to hit the transformation button immediately just to make sure that you don't die. I highly recommend you guys learn how to do that and not rely on this equip. Emergency escape device pretty much allows you to escape an area that's being destroyed for free. So if you're somebody that actually likes to plant keys and like really try to plant them and not die and not have to worry about that, you equip this. If the area is destroyed, you'll actually be teleported out and you won't actually get downed. The last one I consider kind of good here is power charger. Actually, trap device is good. We'll talk about that one in a sec. Power charger, basically what it does is it gradually increases your level 0 to level 1. So if you're a player that's kind of new to the game, and you're struggling to get your level 1 and you find yourself not being able to get your dragon change, I honestly would recommend purchasing power charger from the shop. It's around like 20,000 Zeni. And this will allow you to ensure that you're getting your level 1. You kind of just sit and hide in a cave for a little bit, get your level 1 with power charger, and then, you know, be on your merry way, right? This is just a good way to kind of like, you know, put some training wheels on before, you know, you're confident in fighting cubes and resources and getting familiar with the maps, right? Last, we have trap device, which is actually a pretty good skill. It's essentially a stun where you put a little device. If the Raider runs into it, they actually get stunned. They can destroy it if they see it, so keep that in mind. The way you typically see survivors do this, say if they're you know, being chased by the Raider, they escape, they hide into a cave, they throw trap device by the entrance of a cave, the Raider gets zapped, and then they run and try to escape the Raider, right? But yeah, guys, that is pretty much the video here. I know I covered a lot. I do have other videos talking about combat exclusively, talking about the gauge exclusively. I have another video about 10 things that Dragon Ball The Breakers doesn't tell you, slightly outdated. But the combat guide is still a very good watch. The gauge guide is still a very good watch. And I have like a skills guide talking about all the good skills in the game, breaking down some of the more escaping combos like the floating device tech that I taught you guys here. But this is a lengthy video, man. It's probably around like 40 minutes, so I apologize for taking so long in making this video, but this took me about an hour to record. That's kind of why I've been dragging my butt, just because there is a lot to talk about with Survivor. I don't think Survivor is hard to play. Once you know what you're doing, it's just taking that step and like learning the fundamentals. I don't think this game is very difficult to master, but there's so much that the game does not tell you, where I understand everybody's frustration comes, and why I understand everybody thinks Raiders are OP, because the game just does a terrible job of teaching you how to play, and they throw you to the wolves, right? So let me know in the comments below if you guys are confused about anything in Dragon Ball The Breakers, anything I didn't cover here. I may have already done it in another video, so let me know in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to the Ironcane channel for more Dragon Ball The Breakers content and tutorials in general. I will try to do other guides as well. I know a lot of people have been asking what are some of the best dragon changes for each level. I did a video on that a while back. Still kind of relevant, so you guys can check that out. But again, the level 1 really does not matter, guys, because you're primarily using this to escape, where the level 2 and 3 are mainly the ones that you're going to be fighting with. You can fight with level 1s, but you're really going to be fighting with level 1s if other players are fighting. You're not really like soloing the raider with level 1s. I mean, not soloing the raider really ever, but you can fight back a little bit, then escape with 2 and 3 as opposed to level 1. I really wouldn't recommend it at all. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the video. Again, in the comments below, let me know if there's anything anybody is confused about, and I'll try to answer any questions. And if there's any other videos you guys want to see, let me know, because although this was kind of not necessarily a generic video, it was kind of you know, not as narrow as I typically do as far as these video goes, because I try to cover as many things, but broad is the word I was looking for. Kind of broad, because there's a lot to talk about, but I also want to get a lot in this video, but there's still a lot of things I didn't talk about, right? Anyways, guys, that's the vid. Take care, stay safe, have fun. Peace out.